Hey, South Bay. This is South Bay by Jackie, the podcast, and I'm Jackie Balestra, your resident guru on all things South Bay. Now, while my website, southbaybyjackie.com, offers a curated calendar of events, this podcast is an extension of that, presenting a more in depth look at things to do, places to go, and people to know in our South Bay bubble. So, today, we're going to learn about the Rock the Cure event taking place on Saturday, June 5th and Sunday, June 6th from noon to 5 p.m. in the parking lot of Ragin Cajun Café in Redondo Beach. And my guests today are Steve and Lisa Hodges, owners of Ragin Cajun, Laura Newton, community manager for the American Cancer Society, Melissa Dichiera, lead singer from Lady Zep, Sean Beardsley from the Hollowbodys, and Bobby Hahn, the guy who came up with the idea for this event. So this event is a fundraiser for the Beach Cities Relay for Life. The American Cancer Society Relay for Life movement is the world's largest peer-to-peer fundraising event dedicated to saving lives from cancer. Individuals form teams to fundraise and can register through the Beach Cities RFL website. Now, at the Rock the Cure event, attendees will enjoy tunes by local rock bands Lady Zep, the Hollowbodys, Mason and Julez, and The Avenues. And today we're going to tell you everything you know about the Rock the Cure event. So Steve, Lisa, Laura, Melissa, Sean, Bobby, thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so Laura, I'd like to start with you because there's a little bit to unpack here. Explain to us the Relay for Life, what that is, what the Beach Cities Relay for Life is, how it comes in with the Rock the Core, this event. Yeah, just explain it to how it's all related, please.
So Relay for Life is a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, and there's probably thousands of them across the country, hundreds in California. And our local fundraiser is the Beach Cities Relay for Life. And traditionally in non-pandemic years, the relay would go 24 hours around the clock. There would be dozens of relay teams, a survivor tent, all to raise money to end the fight for cancer and to honor survivors and those we have lost in the fight as well. This year, we're calling it Illuminate Hope, and it's a drive-through Relay for Life, meaning that it's going to be evening on June 26th once the sun goes down, and people are dedicating luminaria to loved ones, and you'll be able to drive through the luminaria at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. So that's the model for this year, and in years to come, we'll be back in person at different locations throughout the beach cities with teams gathering together. Right now, our fundraising goal for Beach Cities Relay for Life is $25K, and we're actually a third of the way there, thanks to some of our really great sponsors, Harcourt's Beverly Hills, and Insure National, and wonderful participants and donors like Steve and Lisa from Ragin Cajun and everyone else in the beach cities.
All right, and that's Saturday, June 26th between 7 and 9 p.m. at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, so just come drive through.
Okay, so Steve, I was just telling them before you jumped on the call that I think this is the first in-person fundraising event in 15 months. I don't know. Every other fundraising event that's been happening has all been virtual. I think this is going to be the first in person.
Yeah, you were telling me that. I really hadn't thought about it, and actually the idea kind of came when Bobby came by the restaurant a few months ago and was saying he had his son played in the band The Avenues and wanted to play, and he was turned on to us by Dana, one of Laura's coworkers, who usually handles the Relay for Life stuff, and she told him to come by and visit us and see if maybe we could work something out. And we were talking since they work together, and we worked together with Relay for Life for years. Like, let's do a fundraiser, and as soon as I felt like things were opening up where we could do an outside event. Space. I mean, it's still before the 15th, so we'll space everybody out. We'll have tables all over the parking lot, tents. Everybody will be spaced and still very COVID friendly. But we figured it was a time when we could do this and have some fun with it. And actually, a lot of people are very interested and seem like we should have a pretty good event.
Yeah. Well, I know everybody's looking forward to it. Bobby, as Steve was just saying, so this was your idea. And I have to ask you, is your child in the band called the Avenues? It's a bunch of kids that live in the Avenues in Redondo Beach.
Pretty close to that, yeah. My son grew up surfing down at the Avenues, and he was in a few other bands. They're all juniors in high school, and I put something out on Facebook because they're struggling with the name, and a good friend of mine, Laura, came up with the name The Avenues, and they just all kind of clicked together. And they've done a couple charity online events for the American Cancer Society, and so this is how we kind of came up with the idea. I'm a fan of the Ragin Cajun on the side, so I was already going there, and I got a chance to talk to Steve, and I always get my turkeys from there.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah. So that's how it all came about, and I'm just really excited it's coming this weekend.
Yeah, a while back, somebody had sent me some information on the Avenues. Weren't they playing on the street during the pandemic? They did a couple of concerts like on somebody's lawn.
That was my house. Yeah.
That was your house. Okay.
Yep. And then they did an online at an art gallery. So we raised around $700-800 on those events. So it was pretty successful.
It's interesting. Throughout the South Bay, I saw it actually, and I heard it from other friends that people would just, like, a guy would just go sit on his front lawn with a guitar and play for an hour at night. And like the neighbors would just come out and sit on their front lawns or porches and listen. And that was happening all over the South Bay.
Right. Yeah. There's even trucks that go around and they just fire up the band wherever they want to, wherever they can, like kind of a location that's like a parking lot. And then they get ran out. They got about 1 hour before they get ran out.
Yeah. I went over to a girlfriend's house. We were hanging out in her backyard, and all of a sudden I heard somebody play. I think it was a Beatles song, and I was like, "What's that?" And she said, "Oh, that's a guy a couple of houses down. Every night he comes out about 7 o'clock and he plays for the neighbors for an hour."
That's super cool. Yeah, and in Redondo, they're playing on boats for a long time.
Oh yeah, I went down to those.
Yeah, super. Well, these musicians, Lady Zep's on here, they're going to do what they need to do. They're going to perform, and it's been a very, very rough year for them. So
it's been a very rough year for musicians. And let me get to our other musicians here on the panel. Sean, tell me how you got involved in this.
Well, I'm good friends with Steve and Lisa over at the restaurant. We've been friends for several years. And Steve has come to some of my garage things where we've been playing around. And we're not really officially a real band. We're actually just real workers that do the band stuff for fun. We do a lot of it. Last year, we did our fundraiser was at the Elks Club. And we raised like $3,000 for the Elks Club on February 1st. We did it. And then that was the only thing the Elks Club had done all year. And so then we got shut down too. So we're mostly a bunch of guys who have real job, have jobs that like professional jobs, bankers, and I'm a contractor. My son's a salesperson. And then we do the music for fun. And Steve told about this, doing this thing for charity. I'm like, heck yeah, that's all we do. We don't ever make money for any of our stuff. My music teacher is a professional musician, so we hire him sometimes to come play with us. So it just seemed like a good thing to do, and we're all about making money for the charity.
So you do this every year for this charity. You do something.
This is our first year.
But you mentioned the Elks last February.
We did the Elks to raise money for an Elks charity, which is
I see.
Their charity. And that was February 1st. It was before all this even came about. But yeah, because we're doing it for charity. We do everything we do for charity. So, I don't want to necessarily work for free all the time, but we do like to do that because that's what we do. So that's our involvement in it. When we play music for fun and we have a good time. We're a cover band. We play, we play all this cover music, Eagles and Jim Croce style stuff. So that's actually what makes it good.
So you just stepped up. You just stepped up and said, "I'm doing it."
Yep. So
I like it.
I'm doing it, and we've already made our team name in the web page, and I've already got my family donated money and everybody doing that. So I'm like, hey guys, we got to do a couple $1,000. So somehow let's raise some money for it. So.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Melissa, thank you for joining us. We started without you before. Thanks for joining us.
How you doing?
Good. Now I want to know, how thrilled are you to have a gig coming up?
Absolutely. And, more thrilled too that it's with my good friend, Steve. Steve's a great friend of mine from Ragin Cajun. And so it's really nice to be able to get back into what I'm passionate about, what I love, and coordinate that with helping a friend out as well, like to do something good. And it's also my community. I'm from Redondo, like I'm in Redondo Beach. So it's all, you know, a nice synchronicity thing happening.
Oh, there's a lot of synchronicity here. We'll get into that. But I wanted to ask you, have you, Sean, Bobby, have you played any live gigs in the last 14, 15 months?
No, we did a couple of virtual gigs. Yeah, just live streaming shows, but nothing where there was actually an audience.
Yeah.
So be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I think, you know, I just have this feeling that June 15th, it's already happening. I mean, this past weekend I went to parties, I went to concerts, I went to barbecues. It's like COVID's over. It's over. You know, I mean, I have a feeling that come June 15th, it's just gonna burst wide open.
I
Everything.
know. I know. There's a little bit like where it's like we've got to still be smart and take good care of ourselves and do all the right things.
Yes. But
but
we're ready.
We're ready, and I think what's happened is being denied all the things that we kind of took for granted. There's this newfound appreciation where people are like, oh, no, I can't take for granted that there's this awesome thing happening down the street from where I am. Like, what if I can't see it another time? And, you know, we're just kind of, it's like, we've got to do things now kind of attitude, right?
Well, let me ask you something, Melissa, because Sean was just saying they do everything for charity. They play. Um, from what I understood, every week there were phone calls with the Department of Health, and each week, every day there was a different one for a different industry. You know, one day it might be for event planners, one day it was for salons and other personal services, one day it was for sporting events, arenas and stuff. It was my understanding that musicians and artists weren't covered in any of those. There was no category for musicians and artists. So
Yeah.
where did you
What do you
find
think?
out what you needed to know?
Well, as far as like being able to perform.
Well, yeah, they just shut you down, and I didn't see like where you could go to get information. It was like they just shut you down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Maria, you want to come in on this one? You might have something to do. But like, this is my guitarist, Maria. We're at the rehearsal studio.
Oh. Hi.
So like me personally, I kind of got creative and I started doing like all these sorts of online things. I was doing a lot of quarantine videos, but it's not the same as like we're a working band. Like this is our job. And
Mhm.
so that had gone completely. And so I was just trying to be creative just to keep the flow going and kind of keep my foundation so that once things opened up, I've got something to do. How was your take on getting shut down?
Well, I formed a partnership with one of the guitar players in another tribute band that I'm in, and we're a music production company now as a result. She was doing well, she has a company that creates or sets up pedal boards for people, like if they need their pedal board fixed up or if they want to create a pedal board for a certain sound or whatever. So, but anyway, that kind of slowed down. So for her, and of course, there were no gigs at all for any of us. We found that there was still a need for music since there was still entertainment going on in some form, and people were creating things online, and a lot of people needed background music for their projects, films, once they started being made again and that sort of thing, jingles, things like that. So we put that together, and online teaching.
Oh yeah, I
Can-
did online teaching as well. And so yeah, it's like we all got creative pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yeah.
We're not going to really hear her from that distance. It's
Yeah, you
gonna
have to
it's gonna
come
go
over
in and out. Yeah.
here. Don't be shy. This is Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Yeah, so I've been working with a music photographer who took photos of female musicians starting in the 60s, 70s, all the way through the 2000s. So I've been working with her, getting her collection organized and everything. And it's been great working with her and like getting saturated with all these stories of all these performances throughout the years. So I've been busy doing that, and getting outside and trying to make the best of what we have going on.
So being creative.
Yeah.
All right, good to hear you ladies kept busy during all this time. So Steve, Lisa, tell us what we can expect. Give us all the details.
Well, Saturday, the Hollowbodys and Sean's band will come on. I think it was at 12 o'clock, 12:30. I have to look up the exact. I think it's 12:30, and they'll play for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then Lady Zep, Melissa's band, will come on at 3:30, and then they'll play for about an hour and a half. And then Sunday it'll be the same thing. First band will be on at 12:30, and second band, the Avenues, will come on at 3:30 and play till 5. Everybody playing about an hour and a half, maybe up to 2 hours if they want to play a little longer. And then we'll be spacing everybody out. Tables, order from the tables, drinks, beers, and we're going to be donating 10% of all our sales at that time back to for the foundation.
Nice.
Stage back in our parking lot again. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. No, I've been to events in your parking lot. They are fun. So as you mentioned, 10% of sales will be donated. There's no cover charge to attend?
Nope, no cover charge. Just come in, order some food, and you'll be helping out and enjoy some great music and helping out a great cause.
All right. Is there a website that, because I always, when I have your events, I always have them click right over to the Ragin Cajun website, which is there information where is there information on Rock the Cure? Other than on my website.
On the on our website, I mean, it's just the poster basically gives all the information. If you go onto our Facebook page, there's an event and gives the times and so on and so forth. I'll probably try to get some more onto our regular website, the times and stuff like that. But actually, the Facebook page is probably where you get the most information from the event.
Okay, so Ragin Cajun Facebook page for information for the event. And Laura, what website can people go to for the Relay for Life, the Beach Cities Relay for Life?
So the Beach Cities Relay for Life, you'll find at relayforlife.org/Beach Cities CA, which is a bit of a mouthful.
One more time. Yeah, give me one more time. Tell me that one more time.
It's relayforlife.org/Beach Cities CA.
All right. And Sean, you want to give us any information for the Avenues? Oh, no, excuse me.
Oh.
Bobby, do you want to give us any information for the Avenues? Where can people learn to listen to them, hear their music and stuff?
They have a website, theavenusband.com, also a Facebook page. I'm not so great at that. I kind of help out, but the kids more or less take care of that.
All right.
But yeah.
You're just the idea guy. You're just the idea guy.
I'm somehow a roadie now. Pushing amps around.
Of course
getting
you are.
yelled at if the sound's not right. That kind of fun stuff.
Okay, so I just have to tell you guys a really funny story. We were talking about synchronicity before. Sean here contacted me a few weeks ago and just ordered a whole bunch of stuff from my new business, Stub Stories Apparel. We're taking the ticket stubs and we're printing them onto masks and t-shirts and mugs and stuff. And I did not put two and two together that he was going to be a guest on this podcast today. So anyway, that brings me to Bobby. I wanted to ask you, are your kids, the kids that play in your son's band, are they involved with the South Bay Music Connection?
They are. In fact, I saw you on Channel 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They are with Kimberly Coffer.
Yes.
And I see that you're donating back to that.
We're doing, when we started this, we were like, well, we want to support a local music charity. And I called all of my adult musician friends and they were like, no, we don't have any charities. And then I had judged the Battle of the Bands at the Manhattan Beach Fair, hometown fair one year. So I knew that there were young bands out there. So I contacted a couple of people, and I found out that Kimberly was doing. She had been sending me information on their events. You know, whenever she scheduled an event for one of the kids' bands, she would send me the information. I would post it to my website. So I contacted her, and I said, "Are you a nonprofit?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Perfect." So
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
so
great. She's great. We were there too. My son was in a band called No Signal. It was the punk band that was there.
yeah.
But yeah, we really miss those events. So I'm
We
glad you're
have
doing it.
we have a ton of talent in the South Bay. The youth musicians just blow you out of the water. They are so talented. And when I say youth, I'm not talking 16. Well, there are 16, 17, 18-year-olds. There were kids that were 9, at 10, and 11 playing.
I believe they won Green Tomorrow,
Yes,
right?
yes, they did. Yes, they
The
did.
Green Day band. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were so cute. They kind of had to win.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Anyway, Michelle, I was about to call you Lady Zep. Melissa, would you give us your information, your website, your band website, or Facebook page, or whatever you have?
Super easy. It's ladyzep.com. LADYZEP.
All right. That's easy. That's easy. So we're going to see you play. We're going to see Sean and the Hollowbodys play. I'm excited. I'm going.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you. We're gonna rock.
We're all gonna rock. Yeah, that's the other thing, Steve. Is it just if it's not a ticketed event, it's just people are just going to show up. You just at some point you're going to say that's enough, no more.
Well, I hope it gets to that point. None of our other events have been quite that busy there, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's like you said, the first event after quarantine. I don't know whether it seems like people are going out and people are less afraid. So
Well, people are going out, you know, but this is, as I said, the first official like fundraiser in person.
well, we only
Because
have tables and so much room, so if I guess come early if you're gonna come. We might have to be kind of a stickler on. I mean, if you're coming to see one band, you can see the band and then make room for the next band. People coming to see the next band, so might be 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Well, our band for sure is sticking around for Lady Zep because we're excited about them.
We'll get you guys a table for sure. But yeah.
well, that sounds great. That's who's gonna.
Have big followings, like Hollowbodys, all you guys have big followings, so that's exciting as well. It's kind of a win-win. They're excited to see their friends play and they want to support the bands, but they also want to support a good cause, so it's exciting.
All right, that's great. All right, so this is okay. So we've got the Rock the Cure event taking place on Saturday, June 5th and Sunday, June 6th. That's this coming weekend from noon to 5 p.m. It's at the parking lot at Ragin Cajun Café in Redondo Beach, and it's not June 15th yet, so they're going to be following all the COVID rules. And then we've got the drive-through Luminaria event at the Performing Arts Center Saturday, June 26th. From 7 to 9 p.m. And Laura, give us that website one more time where people can get involved with this and get all the information.
So the website is relayforlife.org/beach cities CA. And that's also where you can purchase Luminaria for $10 if you want to be part of honoring everyone at the drive-thru.
That'll be a beautiful night. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank
Really
you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Okay, this is the new format, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's no longer the just the audio stuff. So, and I'm doing this one by myself. It's because my old partner Joe moved to Texas, but last I heard he was up in Oregon. So I don't know where he is. Anyway, thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank
And
you.
okay, so that's the show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Bye-bye.